Hey, it's Shapes, and welcome to another expedition of the Anime Encyclopedia. Like that? Like that amount? Still gotta link the chat. Popping it out. And... yada yada yada. Hello, Greg. Good to see you. So, I kind of want to start pretty soon. I usually say that, but that's a typical thing. But we mean serious business here, fellas. If I want to stay on schedule, I have a lot to do. You see, we got about 141 entries of P left, and then only 11 Q entries total. Very not many. 128 R. And then S is in May. S is in May. But then that's 443 entries in S. And I wanted to do all of that in May. And then, well, so April was like, oh, I'll do PQR. Got a lot left, and if I'm only streaming on Tuesday and Friday, I have 6 left. 6 streams of the month for the month, including this one. So I was thinking, at the very least, maybe, I don't know about R, I don't know about squeezing R in, really, but if I did 44 tonight and get to Pokemon, which is a lot, that's double the pace we've been going. And then the same, which is still a lot, 48, and that gets us to Princess Mononoke, from Pokemon to Princess Mononoke. And then Tuesday, we just finish the rest of P, which is another 50 entries. Just crunch the rest of P in 3 streams. And then Friday is Q as well, and so that would just leave R for the next 2 or something, which would still be a lot. I don't know. If they have a bad take that makes me laugh, that's a good time. Yeah. Good to see you, Annaliso. They're going to drop massive hate on Queen's Blade. I can feel it coming. Or they might not say anything. You never know. You just never know with this stuff. Well, I want to get started pretty quick, actually. It is business, fellas. This means business, and I'm not, all involved with the chat and everything, but I can't dawdle. No time to play this time. It's time for business. I think music's good and everything. Yeah, feels pretty good. Yeah. Okay. We are on PH. We're doing PHL, a lot of things to O, basically. Phantom Heroes. We're here. 5 minutes into the stream, and not even 6 yet. We're starting it. No dilly-dallying this time. Let's see. Phantom Well, there's Phantom Buster Miko. Phantom Hunt Reno. Okay, so they changed and moved some stuff. Phantom Hunter Miko. Okay. Let's read this one. Sheesh. This is literally all they say. This is a sexually charged variant of the ghost-busting anime typified by Phantom Quest Corps or Ghost Sweeper Mikami as a sexy exorcist takes on the legions of hell. And that's it. I mean, it's 30 minutes, makes sense, but yeah. Not much to say. And then they don't say anything else. They don't change it other than that. Okay, Phantom Heroes is actually the next one. So that was Phantom Hunter Miko, but Phantom Heroes is this one. From 1991. Aw, this video was rushed out the year of the author's untimely death. That's too bad. It's a violent thriller, apparently. Okay, there's Phantom Master from 2004. It's a Korean-Japanese co-production. Okay. Just a synopsis. After so much obsession on obscure hentai, them being light on ecchi seems implausible. Sometimes it's not worth the fight. They don't have an opinion about everything. In fact, I would say maybe the opinions, I would have to count every entry, which would be obnoxious. But, yeah, hi, Sean. I know you just said hi. So you retracted the message, but anyway, sorry. Hello. You know, I would say maybe a third of the entries have their opinion, so you never know, really. But not much to say about Phantom Master. Okay. Fine by me. Phantom Quest Core. I can't be distracted. Phantom Quest Core. From 1994. This is only a 4-episode OVA. Like its longer-running contemporary Ghost Sweeper Mikami, Phantom Quest Core is packed with gentle digs at what has become of Japan. The money culture of the late 1980s produced many unreal phenomena of its own, while simultaneously trying to forget the spiritual past. The title, with a double meaning in the real and ghostly worlds, sets the tone for a witty, wacky, post-X-Files series, but it didn't get the success it deserved at home or abroad. Well, that's positive. Somehow failed to ignite the audience. Other notable presences include Yoshiaki Kawajiri as a guest director for the striking OP. Nice. Creator Juzo Mutsuki has several other underrated series. The similar ancient meets modern clashes of Devil Hunter Yoko and Cyber City Oedo. The dub from Pioneer is of high quality and even boasts the hilarious English language version of one of Ayaka's excruciatingly melancholy karaoke sessions. Yeah, this sounds like a fun time. Yay! I love when this happens. That was good. Yeah, that was me. I logged in on my real name. Oh, sorry, Glow. Fair enough. Thanks YouTube for a late notification. Harumph. Yeah, I hear you. Don't sweat it. I'm just checking the first edition for any changes. Yeah, no changes. Still, I'm really happy they gave a recommendation for that. And it sounded like a fun time. Phantom the Animation from 2004. The original initially released as the interactive title Phantom of Inferno. The original involved the use of the DVD remote to steer the course of the game. The adaptation makes all the viewers' choices for them. If that's all that was necessary, what was the point of having interactivity in the first place? The original game was later bundled with the anime in a single release. It feels like they don't really understand what interactive games are. Not to chide them, but like, I mean, maybe it gives them an alternate ending or something. Like, whatever. I don't know. Sorry, I'm out of the loop. What's the goal of the project? To learn stuff? Yeah, that's fair, Zach. Well, I mean, the goal is just to read all of it see what we can find. But you know, I really wanted to learn what changes were made between the first edition that came out in 2001 and the third edition that came out over 10 years later in 2015, to see kind of the differences in knowledge that we had in 2001 versus today. Did we learn anything new? Was there certain things in here is like, oh, we thought this was the case of this at the time, and how that changed over this period. And I'm more than halfway through the book now, and unfortunately, it has a couple of completely rewritten articles, but for the most part, it's very minor change, like small stuff. It's not super. It's not as much archaicness as I was expecting. Not in a way to say that this is that's impressive for this book. It's just like, I feel like we should have learned more. I feel like there should have been more development over 10 years. Over the period of time. Instead, this just kind of has more articles, the third edition. But really, it's sort of seeing what we can find about it. And, in reading it, I'm finding all of these kind of weird choices, and the fact that they give their opinions about so many of these titles and their preferences and biases, and what does that kind of say about how has that influenced our community as a whole, right? Because I do feel like they've kind of, as an old guard, as these kind of like OG fans that have had kind of a big platform before YouTube or anything like that, they're shaping a lot of the discourse and common sentiment of the industry in the English speaking world. So like, what were those biases and trends and certain choices that they've made? I've also found several misconceptions that they've propagated in this book. It may have even originated in this book, for all we know, that have since been like, that's not the case. Like Studio Madhouse, everyone says how it was founded by Dazaki, Kawajiri, Rintaro, and Masao Murayama. It says it in this book, but somebody just asked Rintaro like a couple months ago, when he was visiting in France or something, of like, so you founded Studio Madhouse, you helped co-found Studio Madhouse, and he's like, I did not. I had nothing to do with that. Or maybe he misremembered. Where's that coming from? Also the myth of Hideaki Anno leaving production of Kari Kano halfway through, or 2/3 of the way through. Not necessarily the case either. There's some... he left on paper. He left because of the certain dispute with the network, but he didn't actually leave. So it's certain things like that. And it's been a ruckus. It's been quite a ruckus. It can seem, when I'm going through the book right now, like even when we just started, there hasn't been anything too wild, but give it a couple. Give it I've been doing it for so long because it continues to fascinate me, and people continue to watch, which I really appreciate. So to discern the character of some self-proclaimed experts on the Anglo-anime cultural consciousness. Yeah, at least with the big words again. Very cool. All right. far better sense of pace than the video series, particularly when an assassin's lifestyle is reasonably depicted as scenes of frenzied action leavened with long, talky hiatuses. I guess they give an opinion about the remake. Recanonizing rumors that have been mythologized in the subculture. I'm just grasping at straws. I haven't read a thesaurus. Okay. Pharaoh's Seal. From 1988. Okay. I don't feel like I learned too much about that title, to be honest with you. Two lovers are caught up in civil unrest in 1000 BC Egypt. Based on Chieko Hosokawa's 1976 manga, which has been reprinted over 130 times by its publishers, Princess Comics, this is best described as a costume drama, since while the setting is ancient Egypt, the characters' concerns speak to any modern schoolgirl, perhaps explaining the series' runaway success in manga form. It's a 40-minute movie from Toei. Very weirdly, I just want to pick how odd that that just seemed weird to me. It's the entire synopsis. Okay. Thigh Brain. I'm familiar with this one, I think. From 2011. They didn't really give an opinion on the show, but they kind of memed on the audience for this a little bit. The puzzles themselves, usually mercifully unreliant on Japanese language, are often the stars of the show, prompting much true interactivity among viewers, many of whom are liable to be shouting at the screen as supposed geniuses take forever to realize the blindingly obvious. Little dig on the. I think it's more of a dig on the characters than the because I think the audience is very smart to be like, oh, that's the answer, and then they're kind of waiting for the anime to figure it out. I see. Not too much of an opinion there though of the show, its quality or whatever. Photo Kano. And this is a different series from the one that's Junichi Sato. This is a different show. This is from 2012. Just need the definition of tawdry. Showy but cheap and of poor quality. The redemptive nature of the photo sessions betrays this tawdry show's origins in a dating sim game, where at least a surfeit of still images would have been part of the format. I'd say pretty negative. Okay. Photon from 1997. Sadly, the script doesn't live up to the visual promise, relying on puerile nudie gags and a charmless lead. Though moments remain when it looks as if a mad scientist had combined Dragonhaft and Nausicaa in a secret laboratory. Let's say that's mixed then. No changes either. Pia Carrot. I'm happy we're kind of cranking through this. Just how I want it. This is the pace I like. Well, it's also because nothing weird has happened. I haven't been reeled by any obscene occurrence yet, which I'm happy. It's okay. I'm good. Don't need it. Alright, Pia Carrot. They just seem very over it. Wow, did they have a lot to say about Pia Carrot? Yeah, about as much as they typically do, I guess. In an anime based on a computer dating simulation game, A lusty teenage boy gets a part-time job at a restaurant, where he is soon seducing the waitresses. By episode 3, even the crew tired of the setting, and the cast relocates to Okinawa. For the grand finale, manager Kyoko invites the girls back to her place, everyone gets drunk, and formulaic hijinks ensue. This was followed by a sequel, which features a whole new cast at another franchise of the Pia Carrot restaurant. After a manga adaptation, the franchise was renewed again for the non-erotic Pia Carrot 2, DX, in which, predictably, a new branch of the restaurant opens up, a new boy gets a summer job, and a new rack of girls finds him irresistibly attractive. The first 2 series were released in the US. A short movie was directed by Yuji Muto. Not too much, really. Although, they might have changed some stuff. They didn't mention the sequel in the first edition. Yeah. They just added a little bit of stuff here and there. Piano! From 2002. They say something positive about it. Guaranteed almost supernatural prettiness through the presence of Oh My Goddess creator Kosuke Fujishima. Okay. Piccolino. One sec. Alright, this is from 1976. It's a German-Japanese co-production. All they say is the story is the same. Nothing much different. From 1966, pictures at an exhibition. They just mentioned interesting comparisons, but they're not really giving a qualitative assessment of the. It seems to be an anthology from Tezuka from 1966. Pig Hill from 2009. They go out of their way to say it's a charming oddity. It's like a CGI thing. Little CG short. Pig Princess from 2011. Does that really turn people on? Yeah, I don't know. Well, I'm not gonna make a comment of that. I could another, judging the thing, but whatever. Gotta move on. Okay, this one's from 1955. Talks a little bit about Otogi Pro, but I think they added some stuff. they did. They added cultural significance. Yokoyama's Otogi Pro. Yeah, just general, just more heading out. Alright, good to see you, Annalisa. I'll probably be around for a while longer. So there's Pikomon's Devil Training, but I don't know where it is in 3rd edition. Let me see where it is here. It was an M. I remember oh, this Midnight Milk Party does sound familiar. Yeah, I remember reading about this one. Ugh. Yuck. Let me just double check that was the case. Yeah, changed move Pikamon's Devil Training to Midnight Milk Party. Okay, moving on. Pilot Candidate from 1999. The transition to digital animation makes for clever camera work, but a sanitized, clean feel to all the art. That's all they say. So I'll give it a mixed. Oh my gosh, wait, they added way more. Ah! They completely changed the synopsis. Oh! That's funny. Yeah, this is a completely revamped article so far. Okay, they did, yeah, so they kept their little Evangelion paragraph here. They kept this part from the 1st edition. The anime was based on a manga in Comic Ga by DN Angel creator Yukiru Sukisaki and influenced by the existential musings of Evangelion, but it features slapstick and a cat girl thrown in for good measure. As with other anime made in the turn of the century, the transition to digital animation makes for clever camera work but a sanitized, clean feel to all the art. And then they just added this other thing of note that the episodes are numbered 00 through 11, apparently in order to cause confusion to the anime encyclopedists. They just keep being bothered by various quirks and stuff that the anime does, and they're just like, no, anime encyclopedists are mad. Like, okay. Okay, so they added a fair amount. Completely revised synopsis. Added America listing and O2 video spin-off. I remember watching it as a kid. It's one of the first anime Adult Swim ever aired. Not a good start to their anime block. Yeah, that's fair. Good to see you. Pilot Candidate was just terrible. Now that being said, not the worst anime I've seen. Oh yeah, I agree. Though as a kid, I didn't have much to compare it to. All right. Well, they gave it a mixed. Transition to DigiPaint makes for clever camera work, but a sanitized, clean feel to all the art. Yeah, okay. What's next? In the book, it's Ping Pong Club, but here we have Pinch and Punch. I doubt that this is in the book. But let's see. Because the hiragana is exactly the same. Or the romaji, I mean. Pinch and Punch from 60. Wait a minute. They do have it in here somewhere. But I don't think it has its own article. It wasn't bolded. What is it? Where do they bring up Pinch and Punch? Yeah, I don't see it yet. Cinderella? What? What? Where could it be? I don't see it. Oh, you bay. Look again. Pinch and Punch from page 60. What the heck? I literally can't find it. Ah! Oh, I find it. Jeez Louise, there you go. It's in the Chapo the Mischievous Angel article from 1970. The same crew had previously worked on Fuji TV Enterprises' Pinch and Punch, a 1969 tale of naughty twins that was otherwise very similar. So they actually gave it its own article in the 3rd edition because it has 162 5-minute episodes. Only mention first. Honestly, if it wasn't for Inuyasha, I doubt it also would have lasted for long. It's hard for me to remember the last bad anime that stuck with me. I do remember it was the mecha anime. I can name some old crap I've recently watched, but not something current. My favorite bad anime has to be Future Diary. This is kind of an interesting scenario. Pinch and Punch is quite literally an anime that just happened. As Freckles Pooch came to an end, the staff slowly transferred to this new production, which briefly shared Freckles Pooch's time slot, before taking it over. The story, so Japanese sources claimed, was not actually pitched to the network. It was simply assumed that a cartoon of equivalent value to Freckles Pooch would replace it, and that's what occurred. In an implementation of the, quote, more of the same policy, first instituted by money men observing the decline of sales in merchandise from Kyutaro the Ghost. Okay. Yeah. Any feature of the Diary would be terrible when I found out the writer was the Boku no Pico guy. It's hard to describe this short series based on its short series? It's a 2-core anime. Full episodes. That's so weird. That's strange to me. How is that a short series? I guess compared to One Piece or something, but like, when you say a short series, I either think 4 episodes, like 3 to 6 episodes, or the episodes themselves are less than 25 minutes, like they're 8 minutes or something, or half length. Like, what? Weird. Maybe that is the case and they just wrote it wrong in the book? No, it is 24-minute episodes, 26 episode long. Okay. As anything other than insane. Oh. There are more naked penises in this low-rent buddy movie series than in many erotic anime. As directionless and futile as the average teenager's life, but it's not hard to feel a creeping sympathy for its hopeless, dogged solidarity with those facing hormonal challenge and social failure. The throwaway nature is so determinedly pursued as to obscure the solid track record of its crew. This isn't a team of young punks talking dirty to their peers. but a rack of seasoned professionals with an instinct for video sales. Their work is full of knowledge. Their work is full of knowing nudges and winks, entirely unashamed of itself. Despite the multitude of monocultural references, the overall Beavis and Butthead atmosphere would have spoken loud and clear to legions of hormonally challenged males too young to get most of the cultural digs. But that's hardly the audience for the subtitled version that was released in the US. No relation to the 2002 live-action movie written by Kankuro Kudo and directed by Fumihiko Sone, which was adapted from a different 1996 manga by Taiyo Matsumoto. I think they're referring to actually Ping Pong, which would later get adapted into an anime, so they didn't even make a connection there. Now, to be fair, I guess Ping Pong did not make the cut here. Ping Pong does not show up in the 3rd edition. It just didn't make the cut. Late 2014, I get it. Everyone should watch Ping Pong Club. It's a really good raunchy comedy. I'm not really into Family Guy style humor if that's what the anime is. Apparently Ping Pong Club also aired as 52 half-length episodes? Maybe that's where they got it from? That could be where they got it from, but they don't list it like that. That would make sense, but they don't... Hey. Hello? Oh, it's this one. They don't list it that way. So here's like the description. They don't list it that way. And I mean, I haven't gotten to the Princess Tutor article yet, but maybe they mentioned it that was in a similar position because it was aired in a weird way. Can you imagine someone getting this mixed up with Ping Pong? I mean, they're named the same. I can kind of get it. They're named similarly. I kind of get it. I don't know what to pin them on with whether they like this or not. They call it a low-rent buddy movie series. As directionless and futile as the average teenager's life, but it's hard not to feel a creeping sympathy for its hopeless, dogged solidarity with those facing hormonal challenges and social failure. I guess I would give it a mixed. Insane. Low rent buddy movie series. Overall effect is as directionless and futile as average teen. Hard not to feel creeping sympathy. Okay. Pink Curtain from 1985. Okay, they changed the year. I only just looked at the year. I guess they changed the year. Not Pink Candidate, dummy. Pink Curtain. I'm sorry, I also didn't compare the Did I say you used the right word? Yes, I did. I don't think that changed anything. Oh, actually, they did add. Sorry, they did add actually something. Added no relation to 2002 live action movie Ping Pong. Alright. Okay. They did also add for Pink Curtain. 1982, 83 live action movies from the notorious Nikatsu studio. Pinky Street from 2006. Howdy do. What did I miss? It's good to see you, Roger. I haven't watched your video just yet. I'm waiting, digest. But I'll actually do a mid-month digest, so I'll be watching it soon, hopefully. Not too much action, not too much weird, The most notable title, I think, so far has been Ping Pong Club that I've read in this stream. Pilot Candidate as well is pretty well known. They liked Phantom Quest Core. That's kind of the extent of it, I think. But I'm trying to do enough articles to make it to Pokemon. So that's a lot of articles, so I'm really in the grind, not dicking around too much. Pinky Street from 2006. Don't expect depth. These two anime, each bundled with a special Pinky Street figure, are extended commercials for the toy line designed by Yuki Kaniya for GSI's Krios and Vance project. Asako Ohashi's color design is as bright and vibrant as the toys themselves. Pinky Street has had a close relationship with anime from its inception. Fans can get tiny versions of beloved anime characters from Street Fighter, Sakura Wars, Evangelion, Haruhi Suzumiya, Girl Left the Time, Skycrawlers, and more. Okay. Very dismissive. But I get it. It's two 13-minute episodes. But... Alright. And that was from 2006. Pin Men is from 2000. It's not in the book. Workers from Space. Pin Men Workers from Space. I think that's a new article. I think that's a new one. Pin Men from 2000. Now I remember that terrible anime. It was Psybuster. Okay. Phantom Quest 4 was fun. I most remember the DVD bonus when the voice actors tell a scary story at the recording booth. That's cool. That's a Super Robot Wars spin-off. I don't know if it makes it any better. Okay, what the heck is Pin Men? An innocuous short animation by an artist calling himself Bakuhatsuro Bak Ikeda, a pseudonym meaning Explodey Ikeda. And all they say is innocuous, so I'm not really gonna I'm not gonna write it down. Pippi the Alien from 1965. A series that mixes live action and animation. Interesting. It's also interesting because these are aliens that are gnome-like. Gnome-like. So it reminds me of Tageneboshi. That's not the word for it. Memole. You guys know. Yeah. Because I believe these are aliens. I believe she's an alien. These characters are aliens as well, but they're little gnomes. They've been gnomed! I'm sorry. Pippi the Alien apparently like is very lost media. Ooh! That looks old. And it's a mixture of live action and animation, so just as a thing. Okay. Pippi the Flightless Firefly. Heavy-handed educational film that also finds the time to tackle environmental issues. Government approved, it stays here. Government approved, it says here. What? Why write that in an encyclopedia? Say it yourself. Like, they're just... Like, they're very... Like, in the article, they've done this a couple of times, like, very handful of times, where, like... Government approved, it says here. They're just, like, translating a bunch of these guides that they find into English and just publishing that wholesale, almost. Yeah, like, I'm not expecting them to watch everything. But, like, it's so weird when they're so transparent about, like, how they're getting this information. And they're like, the government approved, it says here. You could have just said something a little more, like, looked into it or something, or not said that at all. I don't know. It's just a weird choice. I mean, the source is probably good, but it just got a bad anime. The translated Super Warbar games are really fun if you like strategy RPGs. Pippi the Flightless Fairy. There's a certain one coming up next that I've been waiting for a long time. But it's not to be just yet. First, we have Pipo, Papo, Patrol. Pipo, Papo, Patrol. Where did I get... That was a Tenjin Naruman thing. Wait a minute. That was in Tenjin Naruman. I'm not even kidding you. There was definitely a character in there that was going Pipo Papo. Oh, that's weird. Wow. But, this is from 2000. So I don't think... So, meaning, like, this might be a new entry, actually. Let me just double check. Pipo Papo Patrol. No. I don't see it. Whatever. I'll call that a new one. And directed by Mitsuo Hashimoto. And I'm saying that because I read I happened to catch something in this article that I... Hold on. Also, it wouldn't have made much of a difference because Pipo Papo Patrol is in 2000. And Tenjin Naruman came out before that, so whatever. Created by Izumi Todo, the house pseudonym that was responsible for Magical Doremi and Purikuwa. It is a Toei show. Aww. It does look very cute. 65 episodes, too. Original creator, birthday? What the heck is birthday? This is the only thing they're credited for. Whoa, what? And then yeah, Izumi Todo, it's not a real person, but there's a particular person, like I think there's a person involved that's like a producer that was a major creative force for Ojamaja Doremi in particular. But it's basically like the person they credit for all of Toei's original works. Specifically all of like Naja and all this stuff. Interesting. Piropo from 2001. Design is deliberately wacky, with references to pop culture icons like masked wrestlers and cowboys, and a collar and tie wearing hammerhead shark. The Aibo appears to have been the inspiration a decade later for the Heibo in Hero Men. They don't really give much opinion other than that. Moving on. PETA 10. This is from 2002. It's based on a manga by Digicharic creator Koge Donbo. All this was done far better in Urusei Yatsura 2 decades ago. Ugh. But the twist of adding quasi-infantile cuteness to overt teen sexuality has hooked many fans. Nice. Okay. I must have missed when you did Peacock King. Did they talk about... Sorry. About both OVAs? For Peacock King? Yeah, Kujakuo, right. Did they talk about both OVAs? In the first episode, in the second story. So it's 55 minutes, 60 minutes, and 50 minutes for video 1. 2 episodes for video True PK. Yeah, they did talk about True PK. I remember they actually liked True PK. They said it was more faithful to Ogino's original, and it replaced the Madhouse lookalike animation of AIC with actual animation from the Madhouse studio staff under veteran director Rintaro. But I remember looking into this, it's technically considered a 5-episode OVA, but 2 of them were, were considered True PK or Shin PK. I think Birthday was a video game developer. Oh, okay. Oh shoot, People Puppet Patrol is actually subbed. I might peep at some point. Wow, that's impressive. Every animation story is the answer. I heard the manga for Peter 10 is completely different from the anime and much more depressing. Yeah. And every visual novel adaptation is Love Hina and every action story is just Gantz. Mm-hmm. Well, they don't mention Gantz too often, but Gantz is, you know, they mention Gantz a fair amount. Okay. We're still going with third edition entries. Place promised in our early days. Mr. Shinkai. In an alternate universe, Japan is partitioned after World War II. Hokkaido is annexed by the Soviet Union, while Honshu and the southern islands go to the USA. A huge tower is built on Hokkaido, rechristened with its own old name of Ezo, which can be seen across the waters of the Tsugaru Strait from Aomori, the northernmost town on Honshu. 4 decades later, in 1996, two teenagers vow to take the girl they both love to see the tower's mysteries in their homemade aircraft, the Bella Ciela. Then Sayuri Sawatari... I kind of don't know if this is spoilers or not, to be honest, so I'm going to stop reading. I guess it technically doesn't spoil it, but it just feels like they go pretty deep into the premise. There are 2 sets of Peacock King OVAs. One was written by Sho Aikawa, the other was from Taro. Funny enough, Japanese Wikipedia says that neither are that faithful to the manga. Oh, wow. Makoto Shinkai has developed greatly since he drafted Voices of a Distant Star virtually single-handedly on his home computer, mixing a Hokkaido quest of Diamond Daydreams with the girlfriend in a coma of The Eternity You Would Desire and the alternate history of FMA. This project shows almost the same level of hands-on control. He created, wrote, directed, and storyboarded, and also handled art direction, color design, editing, post-production, and sound direction. This, plus the use of elements such as flight and hand-built aircraft with Italian names, has led some critics to make comparisons with Hayao Miyazaki. Beautiful as this second work is, such comparisons are extremely premature. Shinkai the writer is still fixated on the theme of his early work, the agony of loss imposed by time, distance, and age. He creates beautiful characters, real and engaging, but they are entirely caught up in yearning and reminiscence, reluctant to move in any direction except back. His promising plot is simply left to unravel, its threads unresolved. His assured handling of lighting, color, and music creates and sustains atmosphere so well that it seems almost unkind to highlight the deficiency. But this is not yet the output of a mature and rounded creator. Like its story, it's a youthful promise, a shining dream that still awaits fulfillment. Which, I mean, I do wonder what they thought of your name. Because that's probably what they're referring to. That's probably what they're thinking about, and they can really point to its success as, like, he figured it out kind of deal. I wonder what they think of his subsequent works. He has 3 movies out by the time this book has come out. Because I think the latest work they have from him is Garden of Words. No, Children Lost... Wait, which came first? I think it was Garden of Words was the latest one, and then Children was 2012. Oh, it was 2011. Yeah. Children was 2011, and then Garden of Words was 2013, yeah. I gotta watch Place Promised. That's the only Shinkai I haven't seen. But I'd say it was mixed. Not yet the output of a mature and rounded creator. Youthful promise. I wonder how many Your Name fans would have watched Shinkai's early work. I was a Shinkai fan before it was cool. Interesting how they were making Miyazaki comparisons based on his earlier work. Yeah, I thought that discussion only began when he became popular with Your Name. Yeah, I mean, that is interesting, yeah. Hello, good to see you, RC. Garden of Words would have been his latest, yeah. I'm excited to revisit Place Promise one of these days. I don't remember anything about it. Yeah. I'm looking forward to watching that and rewatching 5 Centimeters. I think I have a good pulse on Your Name, Garden of Words, and Children Who Chase Lost Voices. And I have not seen Weathering With You or Suzume, obviously. I have a good feeling about Suzume. I really don't have much feeling about Weathering With You. Everyone was just like, yeah, that was a Shinkai movie. But Suzume actually seems to have kind of like shifted some people who were like, that was actually pretty good. Place Promise is probably my favorite Shinkai, maybe up there with Children. I'm interested you like Children. It didn't work for me personally. Not even just the whole like, he's trying to be Ghibli or whatever. It just didn't work for me. I think people make that comparison because of the animation. Writing wise, Shinkai is more in common with Dazaki. I don't know what you mean by that. Because I mean, it's not like, I don't know how involved Dazaki was in the scripting of his stuff. It's not like he had that many commonalities, I think. People have mentioned like his tragic hero thing, but like that could just be the projects he's accepted to put on, but not like, I mean, he did have, input in the story for Hakage Densetsu, so there's something to that. But then like even just that, like the comparisons to Shinkai is just like, explain movie, explain. to quote Nostalgia Critic. That was not a bad article though. That was not a bad article. Okay, more third edition. I'm still waiting to get back to the book because it has the next article is like, oh boy. This is Place to Place from 2012. Arguably stretched a little too far in animated form. Repeatedly dragged out on television, these humorous moments. It's only 12 episodes! How? Wish fulfillment for the lonely male viewer. Meanwhile, pushes for the usual elements of anime romance and drama, that even the most clueless of boys are unwittingly objects of admiration for besotted girls. I'd give that a dismissive, I guess. Wish fulfillment for the lonely male viewer. Pushes usual elements that even the most clueless of boys are unwittingly objects of admiration for besotted girls. Wait a minute, isn't this Place to Place in it? Achikochi? Aww. Achikochi looks really cute. The fuck? The fuck? That looks really cute. Whatever. That's true. I mean, with Children, you could go the extra mile and say it's copying, but I'd just say I don't like the movie much at all. I mean, and how they both direct their dramas. Okay. I haven't seen 5 Centimeters and Some Mother's Garden's my favorite. Isn't Shinkai more of a Tarantino with all these feet scenes? Ah, nice, nice. I'm pretty sure Garden is the only one that has like a thing for feet. I don't remember much of a feet thing for any of his other work, but maybe Trixie's Shinkai video may have pointed out otherwise. I don't remember. Shinkai's writing reminds me a lot of the visual novels he got started in. I think of Minori VNs in particular feel a lot like Shinkai works. Yeah, I get that. That's a fair vibe, I think. Aesthetically too, very Denpa, I think. I don't know if that's a weird reach. That's actually a better comparison. Arguably even more like Tarantino if you want to argue that he's got more postmodernist style. Shouldn't was okay, not bad, but it's his weakest. Mm-hmm. I guess so if I had to pick one. But they're not awful movies, really. Yeah, okay. That's too bad. Plain... God, we're still in 3rd edition. Plain Cabbie's Lucky Day. From 1932?! Okay, I really doubt this is in here. Oh, Atari. Oh, Atari. No way. Gonna call that a new one. Plain Cabbie's Lucky Day from 1932. One of Japan's first sci-fi anime, a generation ahead of Astro Boy. However, its genre trappings soon fade, leaving it little different from numerous other wartime anime that repackaged fantasy as an allegory for Japanese imperialism. It makes no attempt to engage with the political implications of the social Darwinism it depicts. The animal proles are all willing dupes. The human passengers' desire to be taken into the South Seas not only refers to Japan's colonial ambitions as a fait accompli, but also as an enduring, albeit distant and backward, addition to the empire. Meanwhile, even the animal inhabitants of the newfound isle that the hero plunders are happy to offload their diamonds on him, to the greater benefit of his aged mother, and leading to the closing homely, charity is a good investment. The film was included in the digital meme, M-E-M-E, digital meme Japanese anime collection, classic collection box set, released on DVD in 2007. That's how it kind of got put in 3rd edition, I guess. Cool. Finally, we're at Planet Busters, aka Birth. You could also compare his works to Falcom game plots. Really? Umetsu, just look at Mezzoforte. Didn't he used to animate the opening for the Ys games? He did animate OPs for Ys 2 remake? Ys Eternal 1. I thought it was the original piece of game. Planet Busters, aka Birth. Script is by, quote, Kaname Pro. Animation. They didn't even list Kanada for animation. They don't even list him at all. Does he show up in the article itself? Let's find out. Namu Shirugi, Prince Talon, and his sister Rasa, Jupiter, Princess Rasa, are descended from a race wiped out by the people of planet Aquaroid, Pandora, who are engaged in a devastating global war with the android inorganics race. They fall into the company of Bao, Mo, and Kim, Keen, 2 treasure hunters in search of the mystic talisman. This planet, it seems, is a testing ground to reveal the one destined to become the leader of the Galactic Empire. In an arrangement similar to King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, whoever gets the talisman will become the new ruler. The fight for the talisman is a conflict that begins every cycle of cosmic existence, as factions compete to determine whether the dominant life form throughout the universe will be flesh or metallic. Though the American dub unsurprisingly reduces this to the usual simplistic good humans versus evil robots, this sci-fi story, which features lots of action, cool machines, and frequent shots of Ross's rear end, is a paradoxical and densely layered parable of reincarnation. This makes it very unsuitable for the audience of under fives at whom the UK video release was aimed. Even with the script revamped to minimize the spiritual dimension and make the goal of their quest the quote planet buster, a secret weapon made by the creator of the universe, who would really need one, right? It still makes no sense, but it's fun to watch. Ending with the destruction of this cycle of existence and only the four main characters preserved in spirit form, basically thanks for spoiling birth, you don't really get, you don't quite get what it's spoiling, but you know. It is liable to have befuddled many a preteen viewer, especially with the finale, when two alien super beings sit down and start debating the transient nature of existence. Made for video but shown in Japanese theaters, a quote special edition on video includes the 22-minute Making of Birth documentary. And then yeah, as you can see, I'm just gonna double check. Okay. They did change. They did fix. Not really, but at least his name does show up once in the third edition. So third edition, he is credited for design, but he's still not in animation. There's Sadamichi Sunya, Mutsumi Imamata, and Shigenori Kageyama for animation. And in the first edition, Yoshinori Kaneda is nowhere to be found. Not at all. Under fives? What? I don't know. I guess I'll give it a mixed. Very unsuitable for the under fives that UK release was aimed. Still makes no sense, but it's fun to watch. Great, at least it's fun to watch. Some company tried to 4Kidsify it. That's the Planet Busters version. I didn't know that. I've always just known it as Birth. Yeah, you and most of us. A lot of old anime was what should have been brought over. Odd choice. Or actually I should make the mention of the change here. Added Yoshinori Kaneda to design credits. Still not in animation credits. Like, I get they're not talking about animators in this book, the way that they're kind of not talking about voice actors too much, for the sake of simplicity. But they should know who Kaneda is, and they should know that he was involved with it so heavily because it includes the 22-minute Making of Birth documentary. Weird. Whatever. Gonna move on quick. Let me just double check the... Yeah, no change. Planet Mask from 1966. Sheesh. Just talking about it's kind of double standards with typical TV double standards. The theme song cried "Stop the war," even as the show encouraged kids to go out and fight for peace. Okay. Not much else about that though. Plastic Little from 1994. Actually, I'm sorry. And before we do that, Planetez. Planetez. I was about to say Mr. Planetez or something. Execution is sublime. Its future is not the wish fulfillment fantasy of Gundam. Wait. Wish fulfillment fantasy of Gundam? Does that come off as weird to anybody else? Its future, Planetez's future, is not the wish fulfillment fantasy of Gundam, but a mundane, troubled place like something out of Larry Niven's Known Space series. I don't know. I didn't really necessarily get wish fulfillment out of Gundam, personally. Not really. Not exactly my vibe. Okay. Space travel is possible, but only within extremely limited confines. A trip to the moon still takes several days, and later episodes include the immensely detailed preparations for the first manned flights to Jupiter. Compare this to less realistic sci-fi shows like Gunbuster, which can happily encase Jupiter in a steel shell in a simple throwaway gag. Yes, it's true that anime's potential is infinite, and creators can show us whatever they can draw. But, like Patlabor before it, Planetez gives equal weight to the science and the fiction, and is all the better for it. I'm just gonna write the wish fulfillment of Gundam. That's a weird take. Gundam still takes place within the solar system. No, yes. I think they're trying to say that it's wish fulfillment because of the robots. Or, like, being on the colonies? That we have different colonies and stuff? That's not really, like, a wish fulfillment thing for me. I've always dreamed of being cats, obviously. Complete wish fulfillment. There's a lot of aspects of Gundam that are about a power fantasy, and I guess biodomes are cool. But I don't know, they got about as much war as we still do these days, so I can't say it's wish fulfilled. Man, Camille sure got his wishes fulfilled. Yeah, dying of war, real wish fulfillment. Hey everyone. Hey Bob. You're just in time to see them talk about Planetes and how its future is not the wish fulfillment fantasy of Gundam. Did you ever get wish fulfillment out of Gundam, Bob? I just want, I don't want to dissuade anyone's experience. I don't want to, what is it called? I don't know. I want you to speak your truth. If it's like, I wanted the future to be like Gundam. That was wish fulfillment for me. In Gundam, people were moved to colonies as a way of getting rid of them. That's what started the war. Yeah. I don't know what they're talking. Space travel or something? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Really weird. Really weird. Weird. You don't have to frame Gundam like that. To like, talk about Planetes in a positive way. I mean, G Gundam, sure, but any other Gundam? No. Yeah, I don't really get where they're coming from with that one. Plan Z. Okay. I gotta stand tall, but I want to be close to the mic. But I don't want the mic to take up too much space on the camera. But I have to actually stand, and I adjust my posture, because otherwise I'm really like this. I'll die. Apocalyptic anime has not always been a major strand in the medium. I guess not. It's not as a strain as in the medium as many other things. I don't know where you're going with this. Before the war, Japan's experience of devastation was purely natural. Like America, it had to imagine the apocalypse. Buddhist imagery of hell was useful to some extent, but a childlike vision of war dominated wartime anime. The narrative of armed conflict was unexamined in anime long after the occupation ended. The narrative of armed conflict was unexamined in anime until long after the occupation ended, and even then was framed as science fiction or fantasy, with the exception of a few unflinching visions such as Barefoot Gen. Alien invasions as a metaphor for war was easy to sell in Japan. To many Japanese, the invaders looked like aliens. As a result, the anime Apocalypse covers a wide range of styles from Fist of the North Star to Evangelion, and the style of the Apocalypse is one of its most interesting features. It's easy for a director with a strong design team to create something that looks intriguing. Less so for the writers to make the content as striking as the package. Plan Z has some strong concepts and attractive designs, but it's let down by lackluster execution. It really is past time studios stopped expecting audiences to say, "Wow, CGI!" and look no deeper. That's all they say about it. What is this tirade about apocalyptic anime? What are they trying to say? What are they even trying to say? Snuff stream confirmed. Got a paper towel tube, and speak into that so your voice travels to the mic, and you can keep a good posture. No, Bob, I'm not... Yeah, right. Just nonsensical rambling. I'm like, I don't even know what they're talking about. If any, the two things that I think of with apocalyptic anime is Devilman, which I get as of, as of 2010, the third edition. The only kind of sense that you had about Devilman being apocalyptic was Amon. You had Amon, so it wasn't completely unadapted. But certainly, at least now, thankfully, since Devilman Crybaby came out, it's way more associated with like how the manga actually ends, right? Which was inevitably kind of the real influence to Evangelion, etc., etc. But even like Godzilla, very apocalyptic. Japan Sinks, isn't that like a very seminal apocalyptic work? Joe from Pause has a whole video series about apocalypse. I wonder what he would think of this article. I'm gonna send it to him afterwards. I'm like, hey, what do you think of this? Is this BS or are they? I don't know what they're saying. Is this meant to be a stealth insult to Fist of the North Star? Maybe. But the fact that they don't even acknowledge that like Gundam exists because it was a war between humans. But they alien invasion is a metaphor for war. It was easy to sell Japan. As if they never moved past it. What about all of Ryosuke Takahashi's works? Granted, they're not like apocalypse necessarily, but Ideon, I don't know. I don't really know what they're getting at. I think Japanese media did that way before Eva. There was a post-apocalyptic era episode in Astro Boy 63 where robots survived and had museums for human stuff. Oh my gosh. That's awesome, though. Bob, you should totally check out Animetude's article on Mushi Production and Astro Boy. This was so fascinating. He talks about the entire run, basically. You check this out. This is such a good article. It's long. It's very long. Definitely very detailed and production heavy, but fascinating, I think. I heard that and assumed they are alluding to the sci-fi allegories used in Godzilla, which was created because they couldn't make a direct war movie. It wasn't just about being easy to sell. Yeah. Interesting. I'm gonna write that I don't have the particular things, but just weird diatribe about apocalypse. Well, thanks a lot. And I guess it's mixed. Plan Z. Strong concepts and attractive designs let down by lackluster execution. Okay, now we're on Plastic Little. Plus Plan Z is what, like 2010? There's been plenty of anime doing that before then. It's a no-brainer. Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. Plan Z is from 2010. It was just weird for them to bring up and to just kind of go off on. I don't know. Maybe they had to fill page space for some reason. I really don't know. Cool blog you linked. Yeah, Animetudes is pretty much the GOAT. Pretty much the GOAT. What can I say? Plastic Little. Lightweight but enjoyable sci-fi adventure. See, they do that. Look, they are no stranger to doing this. I don't know why they didn't do this for fucking Birth. like its predecessor, Legend of Lemnir, solely to show off the artistic talents of Urushibara and Yoshimoto. Yoshimoto's the director. Urushibara is an animator. They absolutely could have brought up birth. While lacking a particularly strong storyline, it succeeds most perfectly in the rendition of an individual artist's style into moving pictures. Unfortunately for the genre, Urushibara's style isn't SF illustration, but cheesecake. The artist on numerous books of cute girl illustrations, he renders lush young flesh with glowing perfection. Yoshimoto transfers this perfection exactly to celluloid and puts a remarkable range of motions onto it, so before they take on the evil overlord, the girls can stop for a bath scene where they can compare their breasts. Not only every jiggle of every curve, but the characters' expressions and movements all give the impression of seeing the creator's original art come to life on the page. When one considers the violence often done to original design art in the cause of simplifying it enough to animate cheaply, see Vampire Hunter D. Okay. The achievement is all the more remarkable. At the time of its release, the creators claimed that it was only a prequel to a set of other stories, though as time passed, the only evidence was a single-volume manga and an audio drama, thereby implying that there was more to come. In 1999, Urushibara and Yoshimoto unveiled artwork from a new project, charting the progress of Anne and Recorn, a two-piece idol singer act known collectively as Virginity. Though they promised that these two girls, along with the unshaven male pirates of the Yetan Isle of Espanola would soon grace anime screens alongside Tita and her crew, the wait continues, making Plastic Little 2 the most delayed project in anime, beating even Otomo's Steam Boy. It actually, I don't know if it... When did anyone know in chat when... what is his name? Honemi Ace 2, Uru in Blue. When did that get proposed? When did that get proposed? Because they said in 1999 they unveiled artwork for a new project. Well, at the time of its release, they claimed that it was only a prequel to a set of other stories. So 1994 is what they claim as the most delayed project in anime, beating even Otomo's Steam Boy. I think early 90s. That might be Japan's Longest Day, which was 1967. It's been a while since I learned about that stuff, so I can't recall when the occupational censorship ceased. Oh, I should also put Japan Sinks. Sorry. Devilman. Japan Sinks. Praise for Plastic Little. I think it was one word title, though I might be wrong. Urushibara, not Urushihara? Yeah, they misread it as a Rendaku, which is actually, when it's actually read as Hara normally. Hello, Weird Proc. Good to see you. I think early 90s, like 92, 93. I was going to mention Uru in Blue. Yeah. I'll put that down as a weird choice. The most delayed project in anime, beating even Otomo's Steam Boy. Uru in Blue? Owing to accidents and international pricing and rights negotiations, Plastic Little is available in separate UK and US translations. Yeah, I think it's positive for Plastic Little. Sure. Lightweight, but enjoyable sci-fi adventure. Succeeds perfectly in rendition of artist's style into moving pictures. And let me double check the first edition. No, absolutely no change. Okay. Ping Pong Club is over there. Wait, okay. Familiarize Sanshiro. But first we have Platonic Chain. Platonic Chain. A decade onward, this prediction of the future seems strangely quaint and mundane, but sometimes it's worth remembering that there used to be a time without Facebook. Yeah. Okay. Pla-Res Sanshiro. From 1983. It's just this essentialism thing. It's the same director. He didn't make it. Okay. So, sadly, the need to keep things on a child's level restricts what director Yuyama can do with his material. He can't have minded, though. 14 years on, he made Pokemon. No, he directed Pokemon. He didn't make Pokemon. Like, you can't just be like from the creator of Pokemon. You can't call it. You can't call Familiarize Sanshiro from the creator of Pokemon. That's just not true. I know that's not precisely what they're saying, but like, they're saying 14 years on he made Pokemon. That's not. Do you know what I mean? You can't really conflate those two things. Besides, is it even? It's a Kaname Pro. Is even like considered an original creator by him? So it was originally a manga by Jiro Gyu that they don't mention. They don't even mention the manga. Weird. What a weird. Okay. They're kind of mixed on it, I think, because they do admire the premise, but that just doesn't go that far because it's a kid's show. Interesting concepts. Sadly, they need to keep things on a child's level restricts what director can do. Not even just one. I kind of have, that's kind of all I have to say. Just don't conflate director with creator for either project. They don't bring up this is based on a manga. That's just, it's just so weird. Cool, Prowlers. It's like saying Spielberg's the creator of Jurassic Park. Did they not mention the battle similarities to Pokemon? They don't mention the... I think they imply it because it's the same director as Pokemon. But they don't make mention of it, no. Because they say the conflict between a child's and an adult's view of achievement, the symbolism of inheritance, and the way in which toys provide an interface with a world that seems too big and scary to handle directly are interesting concepts for a series. Sadly, the need to keep things on a child's level restricts what Yuyama can do with his material. His material! His material! He can't have minded, though. 14 years on, he made Pokemon. There, spin-off. Okay, they do mention the manga, I'm sorry. Jiro Uma and Minoru Kamiya produced the spin-off manga in the same year, but strangely enough, the expected toy line didn't materialize. My bad. Let me just check the first edition. And I could be wrong, I haven't seen Flores yet, but this sounds mostly like Metabots, if I'm being honest. Don't get me wrong, I like Metabots. I'm not trying to be essentialist or anything, but I don't remember. What do they actually say about Yuyama's originals like Leda? Let's see. $270 results for fucking... Hold on. Genmu Senki. What do they say about Leda? A high point of early video anime, also shown in theaters in Japan. This video combines many anime staples, including large robots, pilot heroines, battle bikinis, and even a love song to save the world. 15 years later, the main crew members would still be in the public eye, directing Pokemon, designing brain-powered, and composing the music to Evangelion. They don't really bring him up. But they make the connection to Pokemon, but they don't really bring him up, necessarily his name up. Windaria I have not read yet, but let me see. They preface it saying based on Keisuke Fujikawa's novel. Katsumata's backgrounds are pure delight, and although the robots are rarely mentioned among its many pleasures, this is partly because Kohara does such a good job of integrating them carefully into their faux feudal societies. This genuinely thoughtful fantasy has a good mix of action and reflection, and a score whose sweeping grandeur reflects the beauty of the visuals. They liked it. I'm happy they liked Windaria. I didn't resonate with it personally, but I gotta watch it again. Also with better If there's a better, if it's in HD anywhere, I really want to watch it in HD. Because I watched it in a really bad quality at the time, years and years and years ago. Nope, but they don't mention Yuyama at all in Windaria. Yama must have really liked Takeshi Sudo. He worked with him on at least 3 different series. Yeah. Still not on a first edition book. Playball! Well, we just did one, Flower Sanshiro, but the next one, please open the door for it. Here's Playball from 2005. Is this... Am I not mistaken? Is this the same Playball as... No, that's Captain I'm thinking. I know I'm not. I am thinking of Playball. So, like, this is like a really old series. From 1973, from Shonen Jump. And it is directed by Satoshi Dezaki. But it got an anime finally in 2005. Surprisingly. I just kind of want to see... Yeah, there it is. Wow. Wow. Playball second? Is this recent? Probably not recent. Yeah. That's really interesting. Anyway, yeah, 2005 was the first, and then January 2006 was the second season. Gotcha. And they only what? I literally just looked this up because I just happen to be personally curious. They don't list the second season. They only list their 13 episodes from 2005. And no, they don't really bring up a sequel at all. Weird. Okay, I'm gonna put that down. Yama's don't watch Rendaria dubbed, it's for kidsified. I don't remember if I watched it dubbed or subbed. I would like to watch Rendaria again. I only saw it when Hazel streamed it on Twitch that one time. Oh yeah? Nice. Junior, okay. Aww. I don't know. You don't normally see a series like that adapted for the first time that far apart from its original run. You know what I mean? It's really hard to find good dubs for older anime. Either they're overly censored or poorly acted. Yeah. They were mainly... I think a lot of them were mainly used... were mainly created as a functionality because people didn't think that they could be sold without dubs. And at least Carl Masick believed that. That his title sold way more than other titles that didn't include English dubs, because you want to have the broadest. Jojo just saying, no, I think that's I think Playball is even longer. Playball's from 73 to 2005, and then Jojo's from 86 to 2012. That's close. That is close between the two. But then also Jojo did get an anime. It did get an anime in the 90s. It got the OVA. But I'll give you it. I'll give it to you. 86 part 1 to let me see. I don't know if this is going to be exact really. 86, 96, 2006, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 26 years. Okay. 73. 83, 93, 2003, 2004, 32 years. 32 years between the Play Ball manga and anime. 32 years. Then Devilman. No. Devilman's OVA. First of all, if you want like a... I do think we can count the OVA Birth. Even though it's not a complete adaptation. The complete adaptations don't count. If you got any anime at all. But also Devilman, the TV series. I know it's not a direct adaptation, but it did get an anime. No. But Tanjo Hen is 87, and the manga was, what was it? Devilman manga. What year was that from? 72. 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 15 years. Yeah, of course we're counting the OVAs. Of course we're counting the OVAs. Are you kidding? Any anime. But I think Play Ball's, even if there is one that's longer, I'm sure there is somewhere. But that's still really impressive for getting any first anime period. I don't know. I just think that was really interesting. I actually did not know that Play Ball got an anime because I hadn't heard of it. Anyway, we're close. We're on the same page as Pokemon in the first edition, so we're getting there. We're really cruising. But there's a lot of third edition stuff, so we'll keep going. Please open the door. Tobiro o Akate from 1986. Okay, they don't really say much. Although they do say compared to Fushigi Yugi because they go to a different world. Okay. Although they do add something to this article. They do add something. Yeah, come on. Please open the door. Added, not to be confused with Studio 4C's Tobira o Akete. Same exact title. Written with different candidates. It's a short film. Short film, I should say. Yeah, that is interesting. Banana Fish, I think, would be the oldest. Yeah, I think Banana Fish is a huge one for sure. Let me see about that one. Banana Fish. I forget what year it came out. It's so bad. I'm so bad with years now for seasonal stuff. I used to be on top of that. 2018. It's been that long. It's been that long since that show came out. What the fuck? So 2018 to. Let's see. 85. Yeah, so 85, 95, 2005, 2015, 16, 17, 18. 33 years. I think it beat Play Ball by 1 year. If I'm not mistaken, because Play Ball was 72. Or was it 70? Yeah, I think Play Ball was 73. Yeah, it was 73. 83, 93, 2003, 2004, 2005. It was, yeah, it's... Banana Fish is 1 year longer of a wait. Unreal. Cool. Okay, please save my Earth. Please. Please save my Earth. Okay. I'm going to read this one because I know people kind of know about this one. I don't know anything about it. 7 school children have a recurring collective dream in which a team of alien scientists on the moon gather data about Earth. Seeking each other's company, they begin to suspect that the dreams are really suppressed memories of their distant past lives. Past relationships replay themselves as teenage Alice Sakaguchi is desired by 8-year-old Rin, while he in turn is pursued by the mature woman Mokuren. But love is not the only thing that survives reincarnation, as the members of the group discover that their former incarnations ended in tragedy, a tragedy fated to repeat itself. One of a glut of mid-1990s lunar reincarnation stories. That seems very specific. A glut of lunar reincarnation stories, but it is far more mature than the populist Sailor Moon and better executed than the shoddy Bounty Dog. Okay, so you've presented two examples of lunar reincarnation. Any other examples would you like to give us? Honestly. Can anyone else think of lunar reincarnation stories that they're talking about a mid-1990s glut? They specifically say one of a glut of mid-1990s lunar reincarnation stories. Maybe I'm just not that familiar with mid-1990s series, but like, huh? I am already bracing myself for the teacher twin takes. Yeah. Oh great, Japan's age gap romance obsession rears its head again. What other lunar incarnation stories? Sailor Moon's the only one I know. Yeah. Yeah. Please save my Earth. Cool. Let me keep reading. This emotive tale of love, loss, and anger, echoing through reincarnation, was based on a manga, whose other works include Only a fraction of the 21-volume original would fit into the anime, which, is 6 episodes. And the story was compressed further into 100-minute movie edits concentrating on the Alice-Rin relationship. There was also an animated music video. I literally was going to say AMV, but they don't. They just say animated music video. Comprising 8 tracks of the wonderful Mizoguchi music that featured great contributions from Yoko Kano. Though released before the series to publicize it, the video actually contained some footage of later chapters and the manga's conclusion, unseen in the anime series proper. Okay. Let me just read the 3rd edition. Which, by the way, is not mid-90s. It's 1992. That's not mid-90s. I don't know I don't know in what world you would think that's mid-90s. And then what year did Bounty Dog come out? 94, which I would consider mid-90s for sure. Fall 1994, definitely mid-90s. I can't think of another one. Such a glut. Could be cool, just that romance part put me off. I would never think to compare Sailor Moon and Bounty Dog. Such a glut. Bounty Dog flopped everywhere, so it's such a dumb comparison to make. It's not even a matter of whether it's a flop. Sailor Moon was around in 96. Yeah, but the lunar reincarnation part was in the first season, which is in 92. If not, like, okay, early 93. Still not mid-90s. Spring 92. So yeah, it would still be in 1992 by the time they revealed that plot development. big thing I remember about Bounty Dog is the whole series looked like the last 2 episodes of Outlaw Star with the coloring. Oh yeah? That's interesting. That's cool. I guess they call it an emotive tale, but they don't really... And they feature guest contribution, wonderful Mizugochi music. And then, yeah, but they don't really give an opinion about it. So I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna move on. Please, teacher. Okay, from 2002. I guess I'll read this one out loud as well, because it seems Victor is interested. The whole thing felt like Great Value Outlaw Star. Aw, damn. High school boy Kei Kusanagi lives a quiet life with his feisty aunt and lecherous but kind-hearted uncle. He's 18, but looks a lot younger as a result of a rare disease that put him in a coma for 3 years and arrested his physical growth. He is prone to passing out any time his spirits are low. His cute new school teacher is a redhead with glasses who is really an alien. Kei knows because they've already met by accident. Mizuho Kazumi has a spaceship with a living control unit, a tiny yellow-clad gnome named Marie. Mizuho is an observer from the Galactic Federation, but she's come to Earth on a private mission to try and find out about her human father. Her mother, Hatsuho, met him when the 2009 expedition to Mars got lost and was rescued by a Galaxy Federation ship. They have a lot to say about Please Teacher, apparently. Kei marries Mizuho purely as a matter of form, to help conceal her secret. But as their families and friends cause endless complications, the pair fall in love. Hatsuho, who turns out to be something of a minx, along with her interfering younger sister Maho, Mizuho's aunt, also make appearances, notably in the 2003 video sequel, in which they attempt to engineer a situation so that Kei and Mizuho can finally consummate their marriage. Both the series and its manga adaptation with art by Shizuru Hayashiya are out in English from Bandai and Comics One, respectively. There is also an untranslated CD drama spin-off, Onegai Friends. A decade later, the same core team would reunite for the rather similar Waiting in the Summer. A second TV series, Please Twins, from 2003, dumped its predecessor's dogged adherence to a Tenchi Muyo paradigm in favor of one that owed more to Love Hina, a truly rarefied distinction in harem shows, if you care about that sort of thing. Its protagonist is Maiku Kamishiro, a student at the school where Mizuho teaches and classmate of characters. I guess they just mean a classmate of characters from the previous series. I don't know what grammar they're doing here. Who has no family and is supporting himself through high school by working as a freelance computer programmer. His only memento of his childhood is an old photograph showing 2 children, a boy and a girl, playing outside a blue house. He hopes that finding the house might help him find his family, so he tracks it down and moves in. The tracking down of a similar domicile forms an important plot point in Popotan. Okay. The 2 cute girls turn up to visit, both with a copy of the same photograph, each with the same blue eyes as Maiku, and each claiming to be his twin sister. He decides they can both stay until they know for sure which one is his sister. Mina Miyafuji is a feisty redhead, given to saying exactly what she thinks and constantly bickering with Maiku. Karen Onodera is gentle, easily frightened, and ultra-dependent. She's also fond of a biscuit snack called Pretsch Salad, a pastiche of Japanese Pretz snacks, whereas Mizuho was obsessed with Pochi, a thinly disguised homage to the real-life Pocky snack. And this has led to a tiny little gnome-like creature dressed all in yellow, the first serial's Marie, I guess, following her everywhere, hoping for titbits. Meanwhile, Maiku must also dodge the amorous intentions of Tsubaki Oribe, a girl, and Kosei Shimazaki, a boy. Fans of this type of anime will recognize the fantasy setup where, without actually having to make any effort to woo a girl, a guy suddenly finds that there's always one around and she's always cute. Like being a rock star, but without the need for drugs or talent.
However, Please Twins is notably more mature than others of its ilk, and mercifully lacks much of the endemic male character lechery or indignant female-induced slapstick of similar shows. Instead, Maiku conceals his interest in the female characters so well that some of them wonder if he might be gay, and then, of course, do everything they can to test the hypothesis. Alright, I didn't think that was that bad. As a non-fan, as someone who has no connection to this show whatsoever, what did you guys think? The big thing I remember, the guy who wrote this is currently writing the MHA anime. His work's a mixed bag. But this guy wrote Tenchi Muyo. I'm still in the middle of my Tenchi watch. Everything is Love Hina if it has childhood memories. I swear to God. Yeah. FMA is Love Hina because it's the same writer. You actually pronounce the Marie correct. Marie. Hey! Okay. Cool. Okay. It reminded me weirdly of more of Neoranga with its mysticism and comedy. Also same guy. Yeah. Boba Man's just got a thing for Shoei Aikawa, man. He brings it up almost every stream. Pretty much every stream. He has there's some excuse to bring up Shoei Aikawa. That was a lot of plot recap. Yeah, it was. They didn't really say too much about it, their opinion of it, though. I don't really know if I can give an opinion from them. I guess you can mention the dumped its predecessor's dogged adherence to a Tenchi Muyo paradigm in favor of one that owed more to Love Hina, a truly rarefied distinction in harem shows if you care about that sort of thing. I could probably write that down, kind of adding to that contempt for harem. I'm not trying, but it just happens. Yeah, okay. But at least did not get my jaw moving. Yeah, it didn't shock me. It didn't appall me. Dude's written a lot. I mean, there will be more excuses as long as they keep bringing up Lafina. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Or Tenchi. Let me see. Let me actually test something right now. Let me control search Tenchi Muyo. It comes up with 91 results. Which, for an anime, for like for a title, given that they kind of mention every single anime title ever, that's a lot. That's kind of a lot. And now let's see Love Hina. Only 29 results. It's still a lot. Not gonna be wrong. Let me see how many times Akira gets brought up. Well, it comes up a lot because it's a name. And they have the names in the credits, so there's no real way to tell. Okay. Fair enough. I'm a dummy. I understand. Okay. I'm a fool. I understand. To be fair, the Fullmetal Alchemist guy also writing Love Hina and Overfiend are just kind of stock jokes for me. I doubt they ever compared Tenchi to the writer's other works. Love Hina sure was a show of all time. Yeah, certainly was. I haven't seen it myself. I don't know when I will. I don't know if I ever will. Maybe. It never really got was it ever completed? Did it ever get a complete thing? Like, did even the manga get completed at all? Like, is that like done? Did the anime even get close to finishing? Does anyone know? What's the adaptation situation with that show? Okay. Poll. Pluster World. We literally are 2 entries away in the first edition from Pokemon, and we still have to go through however many in third edition. I really shouldn't watch Love Hina with a friend, and we both really liked it. I think the anime added a lot to the source. Yeah, as it should. Yeah, that show is not aged well. Damn. But you know, I much prefer when people enjoy something, so I'm encouraged that Roger liked it. Pluster World, from 2003. The legendary toy company name in the credits is a clue to the show's intent, to sell as many items of merchandise to children as possible. Like Transformers and Pokemon, it's a 25-minute commercial. Oh! Oh! Ah! I am dreading Pokemon now. I'm dreading it now. Are you kidding me? What? It is! Oh my god. You're insufferable. While Yoshiyuki Tomino used Gundam to show that a TV series can be something more, rookie director Himaki is not terribly ambitious. Why do they have to bring that up? Why do they have to bring that up? Why do they have to just drag this poor fucking random-ass director in the dirt? Yuji Himaki. What did he do? Let's find out. Not searching the book. He has 3 results, actually. He only shows up in 3 things in here. So, okay, we'll look at this director here. Okay, Aki-kan director. Series director for Pluster World. He's really just been an episode director and storyboarder. Oh, and then he moved on to Anpan Man movies. He worked on just storyboard for Anpan Man TV, but then he's been the unit director and assistant director for a lot of the movies there, yeah. He didn't do too much, though. He really has only done, Aki-kan TV, which came out in... what year? 2008? Baki, that's just director for 1 episode. And then Pluster World is like, from 03. This is a debut as a director. And then, yeah, he didn't do much else. He's Aki-kan, and, I think that's it, yeah. Co-director for Dead or Alive. Because, he was co-director with Monkey Punch, I guess. Interesting. How many other... hold on, is he the only other... Interesting. Okay, so... yeah, Yuji Himaki's credited for storyboard. But that's it, not like chief or whatever. Yeah, he hasn't done too much. Some of the movies here, but that's about it. But, like, you don't have to drag the guy. You really don't. That was completely uncalled for. Just assume that he didn't have any ambition or anything, or maybe he just, like, didn't have the adequacy or was restricted by the toy company or something. Like, you can't just make assumptions like this. it's also just not the same thing because Tomino had the entire Tomino's is credited as the original creator of Gundam. Himaki is not. The original creator of Pluster World. You know, there's an anime, and it was produced by Nihon Ad Systems. Doesn't really have credited as an original creator or anything. It's like, you know, whatever. It's just a weird statement to make, man. So weird. Full man retract something. I do remember the ending, but it was alright. It was gonna be fun seeing how Tenchi holds up when I watched that. The manga finish has a solid ending. Love Hina anime was an anime original ending. Okay. Tenchi has been a fun ride. I find the comedy in Love Hina to be cringy weird, because I think the comedy was a highlight in 03 in Nadesco. I've seen OVA, Universe, and movies. Pretty summary. Pretty Sammy. Bill Gates is the villain of Pretty Sammy. I'd say that for me, the anime did a lot better with the spectacle of it, whereas the manga felt kind of exhausting to read. I like the anime original characters. Pokemon won't even mention it's a game. Maybe not. That'd be funny. Every anime is a commercial because the media mix by those standards. Kaiji's an ad. Yeah. I walk away to use the bathroom and they said something stupid, didn't they? Yeah. This out-of-pocket thing about comparing him to Tomino is so stupid. But I just hated the fucking... Like Transformers and Pokemon, it's a 25-minute commercial. Fuck off. Just so... I don't give a shit about... I've never heard of this fucking show before. But I don't want anything to be, like, boiled down to that. I really don't. Like, we just don't have to be that weird. We just, I don't know, condescending towards it. Okay, Pochako. We are literally this one in Pokemon, and that's it. We're very close to done. Which is great, because that's where 3 hours, and it's about where I wanted to end and everything. It's perfect. This is pure, clean, and sweet. It's a Sanrio thing. But I don't know if they think they say much else besides that. Yeah. Okay. We're here. Well, they've definitely, hopefully, added some stuff since the first edition. But we'll see how they do here. Prepare your anuses, fellas. Most anime are just manga ads. I only know this show because it got a DBA raise so that a proto-amiibo-like system. Oh, wow. Okay. Pokemon. It's a long one, obviously. Ash, Satoshi, oversleeps and is late for the distribution of the trainer's manual giving details of how to capture and train wild pocket monsters, Pokemon, fighting pets, much coveted by children. Since the manual sets out... Well, okay. I'm actually done with fucking Pokemon, dude. I'm sorry. It is the highest grossing media franchise. This is the biggest success ever. You really gotta get... I'm going to go hard. So, fighting pets, much coveted by children. In the world, everybody has them and uses them. Adults through children. In fact, it's a rule that children don't get Pokemon till they're 10. So most under 10s, I know there's kindergartners that some small kids that get them anyway, but like I'm actually you about Pokemon actually. Get fucked. Since the manual sets out which Pokemon are the most desirable and how to find them, the manual and is late for the distribution of the trainer's manual giving details of how to capture and train wild pocket monsters, fighting pets much coveted by children. Since the manual sets out which you can't even call it a Pokedex. Like, you can't. Let me see if they change it to Pokedex in the 3rd edition. I'm just gonna do some close comparisons each time. Oversleeps and is late for the distribution of the trainer's manual. Nope, they did not change it to trainer's manual. Okay. Just shows the contempt they have for this series, honestly. They're not even gonna try. Since the manual sets out which Pokemon are most desirable and how to find them, the other kids have all the best catches. And he is stuck with the only one he can find without help from the manual. What? Did they just get the premise wrong? How hard is that? How hard is this? Are you kidding me? You cannot have contempt for this show and then get the premise wrong. And then just be like, just don't even get it. That is not how it works. I'm gonna read that again. This is how they think the premise of Pokemon is. Since the manual sets out which Pokemon, the Pokedex, sets out which Pokemon are most desirable and how to find them, the other kids have all the best catches, and and Ash is stuck with the only one he can find without the help from the manual. An electric mouse called Pikachu. Dude! You cannot get this wrong! I'm not kidding you. You cannot get this wrong. What are those? What are starter Pokemon or anything? Oh my god. The enclosed instruction book. Most boomers had this irrational hate for Pokemon that boiled down to, this is meant to sell toys to kids, so it's garbage. Oh my god. Honestly, with the way they talk about Pokemon up to this point, this is kind of expected. I didn't think it was gonna be this bad. I didn't think they would get the starter Pokemon thing wrong. They think he just can't find... He just can't... You just have to watch the episode that he's given the Pokemon from the professor. And he said, like, they're like, which Pokemon will I get? Will it be Charmander or You get 3! And he doesn't get any of them! That's not hard! I've never seen or played Pokemon, but I don't think this plot summary makes sense. It doesn't even make sense! Even if you, like... What? Like... The only one he can find help without... Because he slept late? Because all the kids got the best ones? Do they realize this is a world where, like... Pokemon are just the wild animals? They're just animals. And of course, Clements and MacArthur will probably be like, then what do they eat? If all the animals are Pokemon, do they eat Pokemon? Yeah, what fun question. Oh my god. They couldn't even get the Pokemon. This is just the beginning. I didn't even have to go hard. I didn't even have to be like, actually them. It's right there.
I cannot believe it. Ugh. Thank God the rest of this reading has been quick, because I'm gonna spend another half hour, at least, on this fucking article. No, dude, you can't do this to me. Okay, no, the only way it would make sense is if Ash can't read Pokedex because he's illiterate. I guess. I think they're talking about that, like, because the Pokedex tells them everything, they just ran out of Pokemon. Like, all the kids already got all the best ones. As if they're a limited quantity. The only ones that are limited quantity are the legendary Pokemon, which there's only one of. But everything else, I mean, there's some uncommon, like, obviously it's hard, like, nigh impossible to find a Charmander in the wild. I get that, there's rarities to these. But you just don't get it. Anyway, okay. What are the, alright, I have to keep moving. Ooh, I cannot believe I have to write that entire quote down. And I cannot believe no one corrected them on this. Either that or they just didn't want to. They just openly refused to change any of this. I don't know why. I don't know how they stuck with this. I can't believe it. How do the Pokemon mate? Important questions, guys. Okay. After a shaky start, the two soon become firm friends. As Pikachu helps Ash capture many more Pokemon and head towards his goal of becoming the world's greatest Pokemon trainer. However, at every turn, Ash and his friends are dogged by the evil Team Rocket, intent on stealing the best Pokemon for themselves. Officially let off school to hunt their Pokemon, they trek around a safe and supportive world. Always finding a bed for the night, and a sisterly type to help out with meals and other necessities. It's a child's dream, with the joys of independence but without the tedium. Dude, even in the game, like, the games aren't, like, if anything, the anime is even more realistic, because they actually have to camp and eat. In the fucking games, there's no such thing as that sort of thing. Because, you know, it's a fucking video game! Oh, why doesn't Link sleep? In Zelda? Like, what are you complaining about? Are you really being high and mighty about the fact that, like, it's a child's dream? Like, I can't believe you're being this pretentious. But Brock, that's what they're saying, a sisterly type. Sisterly type. So they don't deny that Brock cooks the food. But the fact that one of his friends are capable of cooking is like wish fulfillment somehow. Like, alright. Sure. I can't believe they're just complaining about this. I literally just can't believe it. I can see this problem with the first edition, but it's crazy the third one didn't fix it. Brock the guy cooks the food. Sisterly type to help with for meals? It's Brock that does the cooking. Gotta credit Shudo for adding some depth to the Pokemon world. Oh great, enforcing gender stereotypes. I don't
have a problem with them saying sisterly type cooking the meals and stuff. But just like the fact that they call the Pokemon world a safe and supportive world, they think that's just some sanitary thing. Look, I'm not saying that fucking Pokemon has death in it or that much danger or something, but it's not completely devoid of conflict or stakes and hardship. There's a challenge to overcome. Like, you encounter trainers that abandon their fucking Pokemon to die. They get caught in a fucking snowstorm and Ash has to huddle for warmth with his Pokemon. How is I can't believe they're talking about it, like, so flippantly. Misty's a fan service character. Poachers exist in the Pokemon world. Yeah, I mean, conflict exists in general. Okay. I'm gonna write that down, though. It's so baffling. As do we all, always finding a bed for the night. As do we all ideally try to. You know they camp, right? Oh, I always find a bed for the night because I brought a sleeping bag. It's like, Ash literally dies. At some point. It's not that serious, though. I'm not going to say look, I mean, when you compare it to something like Digimon, which I think takes itself a lot more seriously, has a lot more conflict and threats and character death, even though for the Digimon they have reincarnation. Most of them do. Not all of them do, to be perfectly fair. Not all of them, but several Digimon actually die, and they do have some reincarnation element to them. But then also, but even just the act of loss, right? Seeing Leomon die, right? Is despite him having but he's still gonna be fine or whatever. Specifically Wizardmon, right? In the first season, he literally does the Piccolo thing, like literally just pulls a Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z, in the Saiyan arc. But then also, you do have some characters in, O2, Ken Ichijoji's brother passing away, and Frontier has a character death for a human, but it's, it's backstory type thing. And so, I mean, it wasn't until, Sun and Moon that Pokemon actually had something actually palpable dealing with death. So I'm not going to say it's this deep, mature story at all. I'm not trying to say that. But, you can at least give it a modicum of respect and not call it just this fucking wish fulfillment thing. Always finding a bed for the night. And a sisterly type to help out with meals and other necessities. It's a child's dream with the joys of independence, but without the tedium. Okay, we're moving on. Pokemon is a perfectly average TV anime tied into the huge marketing machine of a successful game, and consequently immeasurably more successful than its contemporaries. There have been they've changed the here's the first edition. Giving children an ongoing adventure, the chance to pit their monsters against each other, and a vast menagerie of creatures guaranteed to befuddle their parents, the game was an immense success. Its cross-promotional anime and manga spin-offs reaching the West in record time, arguably creating the most important influence on the medium since Akira. Let me see if they get to that point. Yeah, okay, I see that paragraph, and they've added something to this part here. They have added There have been many attempts to explain its success, including Joseph Tobin's edited collection of academic essays, Pikachu's Global Adventure from 2004. But if you read that, or you know it exists, could you at least have the decency to understand and explain the premise correctly? But if anybody really knew why it was such a hit, someone would have been able to match it. No, because I think if you were trying to replicate the precise environment for Pokemon, people would have called it a clone. And besides, most, everyone's gonna understand knockoffs and stuff, but it doesn't help that you're perpetuating this knockoff idea for Digimon, Metabots, Monster Rancher, etc., when obviously all of them are being made in the wake of Pokemon and saying, hey, here's this big media franchise that there's some interest in. We can take something from it, but let's make our own and try something different. Someone would have been able to match it. No, because they aren't trying to make the exact... If they're trying to make the exact copy, everyone will know it's a copy. So they're all trying to deviate and do different things. And those things do give you less success or whatever. Apparently that's where people... the first and third movies are pretty much mature in their themes, though. Tamers is definitely the most mature Digimon. Everyone says that. Perfectly Average, meanwhile, gets the plot wrong. I have that book. Apparently that's where people get the whole Clefairy was originally going to be the mascot thing, but I would have to read it. Oh, okay. I haven't really heard that theory. Giving children... Yeah, and then they go giving children... Alright, they added many attempts to explain its success, including Joseph Tobin's Pikachu's Global Adventure 2004. Again, Pokemon itself took influence from Shin Megami Tensei. It just made it friendly for young kids. I feel like they don't understand the creative process. Knowing why something was successful doesn't mean you can replicate it. Knowledge and application are two different skill sets. Yes. Not to mention timing. Pokemon came at a particular... it was made. That's it. Pokemon was made in an environment where Pokemon didn't exist. And now everything else, it's like you can't match its success because it's already a thing, and it's such ingrained in people's consciousness. So you have to be playing to that formula, being like, yes, we know you know Pokemon. Here's an alternate. Here's something different. Not expecting to get the same amount of success. That's another thing that I don't think they understand the creative process. I don't know how many people are really trying to match it. They're trying to be successful and have these appealing whatever, but I don't think anyone is under any delusion that they're going to be more successful or as successful as fucking Pokemon. I don't know. Okay. Though the stars of Tamagotchi video adventures can claim to be the first virtual pets, it was the interactive quality of Nintendo's Pokemon game that seized the high ground. First broadcast in Japan in 1997, the Pokemon phenomenon came to the notice of the West that December, in a news item about strobe-like effects in one episode that caused seizures among the Japanese audience. See Yacht Budget Space Tours. Okay, and then they did add something here. Popular myth accords the effects of this as a form of mass hysterics, although subsequent examination of medical records has suggested that perhaps less than a tenth of the alleged 800 cases required medical attention. Others appear to be viewers who may have just felt slightly queasy, jumping on the bandwagon to be part of a national event and skip school, and whose experience made for entertainment tabloid journalism abroad, but may not have been quite the broadcasting disaster first reported. Interesting. They kind of downplay the Porygon incident? They don't even mention the fact that this literally changed the whole industry. Like, they literally had to stop these strobe effects, and they had to dim certain parts of the show, even ones that didn't have strobe effects. Like, if a shot is too bright, the broadcast version, it has to be, like, darkened. And then the Blu-ray and TV, or, you know, physical version can remove that dimmer. They don't bring that up? That's really weird. I understand bringing up the Porygon incident. That makes sense, but, like, that's weird. They don't even added downplay of the Porygon incident? Third edition downplays Porygon incident, but doesn't elaborate how it changed industry practice. Strobe effects. So weird. Same with Mazinger and Gundam. Most mecha are not trying to be as big as these two. Even watching the Porygon flashing scenes on slow, it gave me a headache. Yeah. Porygon was an MVP for that change, thank God. That's why Adult Swim has to air Caesar disclaimers on certain anime. Oh yeah! Yes! We do it on our discs as well. Several discs that have that effect. We put a seizure warning on it. Prophecy. The trend... Am I still streaming? Streaming. Am I still streaming? Am I still streaming? I had like a deconnection reconnection thing. Let me just watch. Up. Up. I saw my stream jump, yeah. I saw my stream jump. Okay. I don't know where it ended. I don't know where I got cut off there. I don't know what happened. But, okay. Let me just reread that. Despite this initial stumble, the Pokemon juggernaut descended on the Western world with millions of dollars in advertising, eventually generating billions of dollars in sales. Compare this investment to the desultory way Sailor Moon was dumped on the US. Though Pokemon was undoubtedly a hit, it was something of a self-fulfilling prophecy. The transition was not completely smooth. Several episodes were, quote, lost, chiefly for content comprising for the womanizing antics of Ash's friend Brock, or cross-dressing by the zany Team Rocket. Lost chiefly for content comprising of the womanizing antics of Brock. I don't fully remember, or am familiar with, actually. Is that the case with Brock? Is there episodes because Brock was flirting? I don't remember that. Obviously there's guns, like the Pokemon Ranch episode, which is important because that's how we know that, if I'm not mistaken, Ash catches 30 Tauros in that episode, and the US never saw that, right? Am I wrong about that? Yeah, even the Pokemon Season 1 Blu-ray has the dim screen stuff. Yeah, I can't get through that scene in End of Eva without having to close my eyes. Yeah, I don't miss the strobe effects. I'm really sensitive to that stuff. I'm afraid to watch Gal Gaigar. Yeah. Fair. I've heard they stopped doing that at the halfway point. Yeah, because Gal Gaigar was airing in 1997. The year of the strobe incident. The year of the Porygon incident. So literally, like, as the show was airing, they had to re-coordinate, and the strobe effects literally disappear from that point. At least from what I understand. Actually, there was something about how a majority of the kids who were hospitalized from the Porygon scene was a placebo, like they were so scared of it, they became sick anyway. Yeah, no, I'm not saying that them downplaying it was a bad thing. I just find it interesting that they did that, but then they also really don't elaborate how it changed the industry as a whole. They stopped doing it like 12 episodes into Gagar. These are the worst strobe effect I've ever seen. Yeah, I've heard about that being pretty much the worst. Not a single Pokemon episode was banned because of Brock. Yeah, Brock wanted to see girls in bikinis. Several Jinx episodes were banned for obvious reasons, though. Yeah. I'm not really gonna bring that up. I'm not really gonna write that as an odd choice, but yeah. Oh, let's see. Let me Thanks to the runaway success of Pokemon in English, anime became relatively commonplace in American TV. After years of equating the medium with sex and violence, producers suddenly saw it as a cash cow in the children's market. Clone shows Digimon and Monster Rancher swiftly followed, along with unrelated serials such as Cardcaptors, Gundam Wing, and Flint the Time Detective. Early attempts at selling anime for an older audience foundered, with Escaflowne flopping on American TV. But the early years of the 21st century could well be characterized by a rush to keep the Western Pokemon boom generation watching anime as they grow up. The TV series went through several name changes to reflect the exact brand of game being promoted. After the initial 82 episodes, it became the more US-friendly Pokemon Orange Island until episode 118, when it returned to the previous form in Pokemon GS, Gold and Silver. The franchise also reached theaters in several film outings. Pokemon the Movie, Mew vs. Mewtwo, gained Japan's second largest domestic box office for an animated film, beaten only by Princess Mononoke. It featured a fight against an embittered mutant monster, crazily flipping from promising, cautionary sci-fi tale in the style of Tezuka's Bagi through cartoon comedy, to a patronizing moral ending that weakly argued against fighting all the time, even though such activities characterize the rest of the series. Exclamation point. Okay. If you looked closer at it, you would see that Pokemon's actually making an interesting commentary on the nature of that fighting, because they're seeing the Pokemon fight each other, and they can recognize, and you see it in the movie, that there is a difference between fighting and violence and battling. And, like, using certain attacks, and, like, it was basically the equivalent of, like, Pokemon using Struggle. And I'm sure they have no idea what that is. But when you run out of moves for Pokemon, you know, I know they're not watching this, I don't know why I have to explain it to you guys, but, like, you know, with Struggle, you're out of PP, you're out of every move you can do, and you literally just physically hurt the Pokemon to drain their HP, and you get recoil in return. That's more or less what the fighting was in Pokemon the movie. And they're making a commentary that did the difference of that sort of thing, which I find to be actually very thoughtful and nuanced. But it's been a long time since I've seen the first movie, so. DBZ gets pretty bad with the strobes, too. Always had to watch that in the bright room. Brock would duet with every girl he saw on TikTok. Yeah. Imagine censoring James's cross-dressing SMH. But Gundam was only brought over because of DBZ's success. I don't know. But they all have this information about the later seasons and still call the Pokedex a manual. I don't know. The 4Kids dub only had the Pokemon shouldn't fight message. The Japanese version has an existential message instead. Well, like, it makes sense. These guys, if they watch the if they watch it, it's very, very often they'll watch the dub. It seems that way based on how they talk about a lot of these titles. Even then, people exaggerate how patronizing it is. Yeah. But I'll give them a negative opinion about Pokemon the Movie 1. I'd say also dismissive just as Pokemon in general. They don't even get the synopsis right, really, but 70-minute film was shown accompanied by the saturine Let's Cooperate children's short Pikachu Summer Vacation. Despite a slow decline of interest, the film series continued with Revelation Lugia, 1999's Power of One, anime history's third largest Japanese box office draw, in which yet another very, very rare Wait a minute, did they say that about the box office in the third edition? Oh, they actually added something. Sorry, hold on. They added something to a previous paragraph here. But the early years of the 21st century were characterized by a rush to keep the Western Pokemon boom generation watching anime as they grow up. A gravy train that only came crashing to a halt in 2006 with the sudden slump of the market, at least in part because the Pokemon generation were now leaving its teens. Added a gravy train that only came crashing to a halt in 2006 with sudden slump of the market, in part because Pokemon generation was now leaving its teens. Even though I'm the age of the Pokemon generation of sorts. Well, actually, I'm not. I'm a little younger than that, I guess. The Pokemon generation leaving its teens in 2006? Leaving its teens in 2006? Because I mean, I was old enough to get. I just happened to not, but me and my roommate are pretty much the same age. I think we're 1 month apart, and he, got Pokemon Blue when it came out as a kid, and he didn't leave his teens until 2013. Like, we were in middle school by this time. We're not leaving our teen. Like, the people leaving their teens so that they're 18 in 2006. I just have to do this. I'm sorry I have to do this weird math. If you're 18 in 2006, that means in 1996 you're 8. In 1997 you're 9. In 1998 you're 10. Which I guess, yeah, that's close. Because 10-year-old, leave, the Pokemon generation, 10 years old, when you're 10 years old in 1998. But, like, I don't know if, I just feel like their math seems off. I don't deny that it was in a slump as of 2006. Because 2006 is Gen... It's close to Gen 4, because Gen 4 is 07, I think. It's really close to Gen 4. It's towards the end of Gen 3, which I agree, towards the end of Gen 3 is a slump, for Pokemon specifically. I'm a little dubious about the time, the timeline they have set here. 2006, where Pokemon generation was now leaving its teens. So, when you were 10 years old, as of 1998. But plenty of kids younger than that were getting Pokemon as well. I'm gonna say, though I don't deny, 06 is a low point for Pokemon. Well, Forket's One Piece is far more cringy in its messages. Pokemon the first movie was the first film I watched in theaters. I apparently thought Pikachu's Vacation was the entire movie. Saw it on Cartoon Network as a kid, always liked how dark it was. 2006. I feel like the start of Gen 3 is where most people agree that Pokemon fizzled out in popularity. Yeah, I agree. If you're gonna choose one, it's either beginning of Gen 3 or end of Gen 3, around there. But then it gained another boon in Diamond Pearl and Black. It keeps on. I heard some people say they petered out with Gen 2. For me, Pokemon stopped being special when Shudo left. Not to mention I already have moved on to stuff like Inuyasha and Yu Hakusho. Yeah, I'd say the late 80s Gen got out of Pokemon by Gen 2. My sister was born in the early 90s and she still liked Gen 3 and 4, though I think most her age were done after 3. Ash is also 10. No, that's what I mean. I know Gen 3 it's engine switching issues when moving to GBA, hence why those games are more basic. When I got out of Pokemon, my undercousin was getting into it. I feel like not being able to transfer Pokemon from Gens 2 or 3 is a sour point to a lot of people. For sure. But like, I can't really complain because I'm a Gen 4 guy. I literally got into Pokemon for Pokemon Coliseum. Like, at Pokemon's low point is when I got into it. And so my first mainline Pokemon game was Pokemon Diamond. Anyway. Yeah, the name changes, etc. etc. Okay, they actually added, of course they did. Well, at this point they talk about added subsequent iterations match the new versions of the Pokemon games with such subtle additions as Diamond Pearl. They don't mention Advanced Gen? With subtle additions as Diamond and Pearl from 06, Best Wishes from 2010, and XY from 2013. Did they just skip Advanced? Oh no. That's funny. The franchise also reached theaters at several film outings. Here we go. Yeah, they do keep the, at least for a second largest domestic box office for an anime film, at least for a while, until it was beaten by Princess Mononoke, and then Spirited Away. Added, and then Spirited Away. It featured a fight against an embittered 70-minute Despite a slow decline of interest, the film series continued with Revolution of Lugia, anime's third largest Japanese box office draw, which in yet another very, very rare form of Pokemon is the object of the quest. This time, Lugia can only be called forth by bringing 3 sacred birds together in one spot. The show was accompanied by the short film Pikachu's Rescue Adventure. A year later, the Pokemon movie was Emperor of the Crystal Tower, a fairy tale variant of Sleeping Beauty about an imprisoned princess accidentally kidnapping Ash's mother when she wishes for one of her own. The film was accompanied by another short for toddlers, this time Pikachu and Pikachu, displaying, quote, baby versions of some of the lead Pokemon. A fourth film, Encounter Beyond Time, features very, very, very rare Pokemon, Celebi from the GS game, and opened in July 2001, accompanied by the short Pikachu's Hide and Seek. Often held in snooty disregard, and I'm going to save that paragraph until I count the additions over here. Pokemon Heroes Latias and Latios, accompanied by the short film Glittering Starlit Sky Camp, Pokemon Jirachi Wishmaker, and the short The Dancing Pokemon Secret Base, Pokemon Destiny Deoxys, Pokemon Mew and the Wave Hero, Pokemon Rangers and the Sea King, continue the franchise. While on television, the Pokemon GS season transformed into Pokemon Ranger and Pokemon Advanced Generation. Well, there it is. Never mind. Next Life from 03. Better than Spirited Away. Movies 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So the ninth movie, which is from 2006, the Sea King. While on television, transformed into movies for 9. Added Pokemon Ranger. And on it went with Pokemon Rise of Darkrai, 10. Pokemon Giratina Sky Warrior, 11. Arceus and Jewel of Life, 12. Pokemon Zoroark Master of Illusion, 13. Victini and Reshiram and White Victini and Zekrom, 14. Pokemon Kyurem and the Sword of Justice, 15. And Pokemon Genesect and the Legend Awakened, 16. Up to Genesect movie. Added Pokemon Ranger. Okay, and here's the paragraph at the end here. Yeah, when I think of that, I like Tamahiro, who treats Gen 3 like a killer family. Ah! I mean, I don't blame her since that's how she enjoys playing Pokemon. It's kind of her job, so most people won't be able to fully relate. Now, she's allowed to have her own experiences, though I felt the Pokemon Coliseum vid was being a bit disingenuous about the game's history. They're definitely selling the third Pokemon movie short, since the major theme is dealing with the loss of a loved one. Yeah, I also had my issue with that video. I respect her for actually doing a lot of research on Pokemon, though. I feel like it's something I feel like you never get with any other Pokemon channels. I usually just see people throwing around the same facts over and over again without sources. I really like Did you know Gaming's recent Pokemon videos. I don't know how recent they are. I don't really follow his channel that much, but I did see he was posting some never before translated interviews and getting some really interesting insight into like Gen 3 specifically, I think, like Emerald, something like that. Good stuff. Okay, last paragraph for Pokemon. This is the end. This is the end. Often held in snooty disregard by a hardcore anime fandom that would prefer its hobby to be forever outside the mainstream, Pokemon is nevertheless the most commercially important anime of the 1990s in terms of brand recognition and the investment it attracted to the medium. Many more obscure anime and manga translations were funded with Pikachu's profits. As befits a cultural icon, the series has been mercilessly lampooned in other media, most notably as the, quote, battling seizure robots in an episode of The Simpsons, and the brainwashing Shin Pokemon in South Park. Okay. Great way to end on that. I don't disagree with it's the most culturally important of the 90s for sure, in terms of its yeah, they say most commercially important, not culturally important, commercially important. Yep, I agree with that. That's pretty much it. See ya. Okay. What a doozy. I guess it never really got as bad as the initial premise. Hell. I really haven't played Pokemon outside of Gen 2 and the GameCube games, so I can't relate to most people here. It'd be interesting what you think of them. Because it's like, oh, back when I did it, moves didn't have attack and special attack. They've gotten a little, not that much more advanced. They're very similar games. I would wonder what you think about Arceus. I really like Arceus a lot. Did you know Game's been killing it since the beginning? G-Game is on the roll lately. I love the exclusive content. I really like the Pokemon bit about the Spanish translation I watched a while ago. Yeah. Ending it with 2 references making fun of Pokemon. Yeah, like... Yeah, okay. Kind of a dumb sour note to leave it on. Well, I did my goal. And it would have made it to 3 hours if Pokemon wasn't such a fucking gall. Pokemon Dragonmon and Sailor Moon finally broke the anime barrier for Westerners. Good thing, too. Trying out Arceus is going to be fun. Yeah. It's a good game. I like it. Obviously, you have tempered expectations, but I like it. Man. I guess that's it. Sheesh. I can't wait to tell my roommate about what they said about Pokemon. He's very, he watched the whole anime. He's seen the whole anime. We can say that now because Ash's journey's complete. But yeah, I think that'll do it for this installment of the Anime Encyclopedia. Probably gonna go try out Let's Go too. Okay, sure. I mean, Let's Go's an effective remake of the first game because it's taking place in Kanto and everything. It certainly has its like differences that make it unique enough. It's not like a remake necessarily, but it's a Gen 1 game, right? Whereas Arceus, it's so different. And it's kind of like Colosseum in that way, where it's really just doing its own thing, and it almost doesn't feel like Pokemon, and it kind of changes your mindset about a lot of different things. Love to try Arceus, but I barely have time to play a lot of the RPGs I want to. Yeah, that's fair. Pokemon Go to the polls. I only had time to complete Sword Shield and Scarlet Violet when I was at Heart's Place, so I don't have to switch. Yeah, that's fair. Shuda wanted Pokemon to be like JoJo, but the higher up shut him down. Guess he finally got his wish. Yeah, a little bit. Only when JoJo was actually popular. Financially viable. Yeah. That'll do it. Well, I just want to chill for a little bit, but I have so many of these effing... Look at this. Sorry. Ow. Oh, I should mention, like freaking all these Gatorade bottles. I should mention I worked on my script last night for my next video, and it's intentionally 5 minutes. The video is 5 minutes. It might be like 5 and 10 seconds or something, 5 and 15, but it's very short. It's very short, but it packs a punch. At least I like to hope it. I hope it packs a punch. And I don't know how well it's gonna do. I'm not really expecting much, to be perfectly honest, because of its length. I don't know. How'd the convention go? Went really well. I got Luffy. It's my first anime figure, and it's huge. I only got it for like $40 or something. Something relatively affordable. I also got. Hold on. Put Luffy down. Hold on. Put Luffy down. He put his stand. Came off his stand a little bit, so I have to. There we go. Like that. Giant stack of Ashinojo. I've already shown that on stream now. I did get a frame for this, a custom sized frame for my first anime sell for $99. It's from Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust. It's just D on as the cell. But like for a background and for like a Kawajiri movie and it has the main character on it, $100 is not bad. I'm very, very happy with this one. I mean, you know, given what you could get, right? That I could find there in person instead of what they had. Without killing without spending all my money. Ugh. But yeah, I'm working on the video, and I want to have it out this month, but I'm not gonna make guarantees. I really want to make sure it's good. I might send it to some people, just to be like, hey, am I gonna be in trouble with this, or how do you feel about this? But yeah. Are there any other Switch games I should try? I have the Crayon Shin-chan Boku no Natsu Yasumi game that I haven't played yet, but it's on my Switch. RCS. Breath of the Wild and hopefully Tears of the Kingdom as well. Not much of a gamer. Fighter Z is a great fighter if you haven't tried it. I think we should go record to see it. If you figure pilled it. Figure pilled. I mean, yeah, I got one, so. I was thinking of getting my first figure of Madoka. I ended up getting books of the character, which was more expensive anyway. Yeah, I've already gotten art books and stuff, so I'm like, nah. One of my favorite cells is of Saint Tail giving the thumbs up. That's sick. Wow. I would buy cells if I knew how to preserve them properly and had room. Yeah. Hyrule Warriors Duology is also good if you like the beat 'em ups. I'm always scared of getting figures if I end up moving and the dust collects itself too quickly. Yeah, I get that. I get that vibe. I have a ton of these other stuff in my shelf up there that was collecting dust, so I get it. So I'm hoping to rearrange in something. I want to make it decorative, potentially making a sort of like like a thing for videos or something. Kind of like what forget his name. One of the YouTubers I follow. He's smaller, but he has his own little set. He's got a desk. He starts his videos with "Hi," and it's cute. Dusting figures was a lot of fun. Yeah, okay. That sounds, I guess so. Anyway, I gotta get out of here. I gotta go eat. It's 9:30 for me. Yeah, see you around. I'll see you Friday, hopefully. Yo, peace.